Hello, families. This is Miss Nicole, the school social worker at Highland Elementary. And today I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about some tips and some ideas that may make the distance learning time a little bit easier and less stressful on you and the rest of the family. So, starting next week, when students are going to be expected to do work from home, whether that's on a device or paper, it may be a challenge to get some of that stuff set up. So, some tips that um, myself and other professionals recommend doing is setting up a structure for the house. So that includes having a routine and schedule for the day. So having kids wake up at a reasonable time, getting ready, brushing their teeth, getting dressed, eating breakfast, and then getting into the schedule for the day. And part of the schedule can be giving the kids some leadership in creating that schedule. So they can help decide what subjects they're going to do during what parts of the day, when they're going to have breaks, when they're going to have lunch, etc. And that can help give them some buy-in and give them ownership when creating the kind of the expectations for this distance learning period. Another thing is that some students, especially younger kiddos, are going to need more frequent breaks. We don't expect them to be doing work for an hour, 2 hours straight. The younger kids may need a break every 20 to 30 minutes. And, that could be a 10 or 15-minute break, kind of reset, get their wiggles out, have some time on technology doing free stuff if that's what motivates them, something to help keep them engaged so that they don't see this as a punishment. And then if you are having them do a lot of their work on device, this does increase the time on technology. So it's also good to keep an eye on the technology and what they are doing online and just making sure that they're practicing being safe online, because being on a device more, does cause more potential risk for internet safety stuff. So just keep in mind and keep monitoring what they are doing on their device. And then if you are having trouble with getting them to sit down and actually do the work, you can kind of practice some different behavior strategies, such as, kids don't get to do the desired activity until the less desired activity is completed. So, this is how when we're eating, we have always learned to eat our vegetables before our dessert. This kind of the same principle applies. Before we can play with the toys or play video games, we need to get our work done. And if we don't get our work done, then we don't get to do those more desirable activities. So you can kind of put it in their court. If the schoolwork doesn't get done, then we don't get to do those fun things. And telling them, I really hope that you do get time to play with toys and that you do get time to have fun, but it's in your court. It's up to you. And some students may need more frequent reinforcement with that. So after they do one activity, for the distance learning, or after they complete one subject's worth of stuff, then they get to take a break and do a more desirable activity. So just all you can to kind of keep them engaged and keep them buying in. I also wanted to show you on the Columbia Heights COVID-19 webpage, we do have resources that will be continuing to be updated. For example, there's information on how to talk to your kids about coronavirus, if that's something that you want to do, and tips about that. Sometimes that's helpful so they understand why all this is happening and why there are these expectations that are going to be starting next week, if they understand the reasoning behind it with the coronavirus. And then also there's some information on managing stress and worry. This is a stressful time for all of us, and everyone could benefit from doing some of these things. So keep an eye on that. These are all under, like I said, on the district website, right under the COVID-19 website. And then there's also additional videos. So just keep checking back because there will be more things added periodically. If you have a specific question or a specific thing that you could use help with, I am here. So in order to find my contact info, you can just go to the Highland School page and then click on About Our School and then Highland Staff. And then if you scroll down, you'll see my information right here, Nicole Hershey, School Social Worker. All right, thank you, and I will be in touch with more stuff.